Good morning, Mesh. Catch us on Twitter as @Mashalaba Speaks. IG, it will be the man Yonela. Catch us on Facebook as Yonela Mashalaba. Good morning, MASH, the After Joke Thoughts. My name is Uyonela Mashalaba, aka the iceberg that never broke. Do subscribe on this very informative channel as well. You can find us on Twitter as Mashalaba Speak. On IG, we are the man Yonela. Facebook, Guyonela Mashalaba. I don't know if you guys have heard about Kwa-Kuhle, but it's been trending on our social media. I've been seeing it almost everywhere with her very, very delicious dishes that she has been dishing out to the students at first, and then it seems like it's spreading everywhere else. How are you, Kuhle?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for coming to the show. I know you're very busy. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, you had a cooking classes that you were actually conducting.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I am doing that. I'm doing classes now also to get used to what's going on and try to incorporate new things in the way I operate, but I'll tell you all about that as we go.
All right, okay, sure. Can you perhaps tell us who is KwaKuhle? Who is KwaKuhle and how did we get here?
Okay, so my name is Kwa-Kuhle Madiwane and I am born and bred in East London. So I'm from East London and I've been here for a good 5-6 years, and I was here obviously to study. So I was doing a diploma in Nelson Mandela University. So I graduated and I did my advanced diploma. However, Kwa-Kuhle, that's my baby. That's my baby. So it's a newly established business. So yeah, still getting that going.
All right. So how would you say KwaKuhle actually started? What I'm sure there was one time where someone was like, hey, ukutya kwakho kumnandi, perhaps you should start something here. How did that start?
And it's actually like that, just like you mentioned. It's always been a thing of, I've always loved cooking. I mean, I'm sure that's what we learn when we're young, right? Our moms tell us, hey, you need to start cooking. So for me, it was more than just preparing meals for the household. However, when it's a chore, you feel, I'm not enjoying this, because you have to do it. Every day at 6 p.m. my mom's expecting supper for the family. So that's it. I knew that my love for cooking was going to be something that is beyond just preparing meals. When I was in high school, actually, in high school I was selling muffins and I was selling other things. But however, every time where I tried to have a side hustle, it would always be kitchen related, right? So I also did, when you had to choose subjects, I did physics and I did pure maths. However, I dropped out of physics the following year. So I started doing consumer studies. And I was like, this is home for me. As much as consumers is not just about the kitchen and it's not just about cooking, I feel like the subject itself molds you into, you run a household. They teach you how to run a household, basically. So it's not just for the female, it's also for males. However, I'd always be the one going to my teacher after class, how do you do this? What is this for? What is this utensil called? So as I was doing it, I just knew that there was a passion there, and then I had to do something about it. So I had a very understanding teacher, Miss Domini. So yeah, and then this year, no, actually last year, I wanted to do the business. I wanted to start KwaKuhle last year, but then I was working and I was doing my advanced at the same time. So I thought, let me not give it a time frame. It's going to happen when God wants it to happen. So I continued working, but then on social media, I started putting posts up and just seeing the reaction of abantu? What are people going to say when they see these dishes? I started learning how to present my food in a more like aesthetically pleasing way and all of that. And then it so happened that I stopped working and I grabbed the bull by its horns.
Okay, you spoke about social media. What's your social media handle for
Okay,
KwaKuhle?
so on Facebook, you can find me under Kuhle Matiwane, and then on Instagram, it's Kuhle_Matiwane. So I haven't changed the name yet. I'm still going by my name, Kuhle Matiwane.
Okay, and then in terms of the impact of COVID-19, that's one of the reasons why I'm actually speaking about your social media.
Yeah.
Because they have an impact of keeping our businesses running when we no longer are able to run them physically. So what has been the impact on your business so far? I know there's been different impacts. I told you about how it impacted Good Morning Mash
Yes,
and
yes.
other businesses. What has been your impact, and how were you able to come back or even find creative ways to find, to continue working
Yeah.
throughout COVID?
Well, it's been a crazy time. I mean, just like you mentioned, you also shared how it's been going for. It's been a crazy time. I've been out of business for close to 3 months now, and it's not just. I've learned that it's not just the financial impact. So it's been impacting financially on a negative way because we're not making money. Businesses are closed. So I closed business the minute it was announced that it's the SA lockdown. So I stopped working. However, the first 2 weeks were stressful and I just didn't know how to go about it. But then I realized I'm so grateful for this time because now this is something that we have to live with. Like the president said on his speech the other day, that this is a virus that we are going to have to live with, but we have to change our mindset. So that's when I asked myself, what can I do going forward? Okay, so it's nice for me because I've always been catering and delivering food from the get-go, right? So now it's just a matter of I'm not really changing anything that I'm doing. However, I'm not just thinking about myself and the customer, but also the next person. So I try to educate the ladies that I work with as well. I always put it out there when I'm posting stuff and sharing my stuff on social media, telling people that we are abiding by the safety and the hygiene rules that are put in place by the government. Yes, I try my best. So it's a matter of always preparing my food with masks on, washing my hands regularly, telling the people as well, asking people to report if my driver was delivering the food is not doing that. So like you said, and then I started the classes. So I'm doing virtual classes now where I don't only teach people how to cook, but I also teach them things like measurements, kitchen hacks, substitutions. For you find recipes and you're like, oh my gosh, I love ikish, for example, or I love pizza. But then when you see this recipe, you're like, these aren't simple household things that I would find in my regular kitchen. I mean, my groceries are not the same as what my mom buys. When I'm at home, I know, oh, Sana, I have to adjust. Okay, I have to go and do the groceries myself because Mama will buy her normal, cabbage, rice, mushrooms. However, I want your nutmeg. You see, so I try my best to teach people on recipe substitution. I try my best to incorporate meals and stuff. So I do recipe sharing as well, which I try to do once a week. So I foster that engagement with people and my followers.
Yeah, I actually saw that in one of your classes. One of the people that you were teaching ran out of something, but you were able to coach her to finishing the product at the end of it.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So in terms of the type of entrepreneur that you are, how would you say that Nelson Mandela actually would have assisted in any way to bringing up the individual that you are and the entrepreneurial, holistic individual that you are? Like, how would that?
Okay, so that's quite a hectic question. I feel like it goes beyond Kwa-Kuhle, but Kuhle Matiwane as an individual, right? So when you look at, I'm honored to have been part of a university like Nelson Mandela University, because looking at like their core values, ubuntu, diversity, humanity, those are things that environment, those are things that we go by day. So platforms zabo as myself or as a student, I have really appreciated. They've got societies that have guided us and helped us. However, I do feel that they should foster more on the entrepreneurial side. Yeah, well, they should go more on the entrepreneurial side, providing us with resources and coaching us to grow and be more than what we are. Because, for instance, I just graduated. I started my business with zero capital, so I would need the university to teach or have programs on how do you register a business. These are the platforms that you're supposed to go to. If you're into cooking, if you're into mechanics, if you're into whatever, these are the type of people that you can contact. Not because we want contacts or because we want favors, but because you would like a company, or because you would like people to look up to and people to guide you. So yeah.
Yeah, so basically something like mentorship,
And yeah.
possibly programs that would
Definitely.
then lead you to be able to participate outside of the university in
Yes,
itself.
yes,
Okay.
definitely. That would really help, not just myself, but other young entrepreneurs as well that are from the university.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of other ventures, other ventures that you've been involved in, and where do we see KwaKuhle after, let's say, 2-3 years from now?
You know what? I always say, like, I always think or consider myself as like a dynamite. You know the saying, dynamite comes in small packages. I know, like, I've been involved in other ventures. I've got a screenshot that I like to share on my WhatsApp status. There's a lady that said, she shared a picture that someone shared, and she's like, yo, lecheri. Not so long ago, she was telling us about virgin hair and she was advertising hair. Now she's feeding our tummies as well. So yeah, so I was doing hair. I've been involved with other programs. So there's quite a lot that I'm doing. However, KwaKuhle is my baby right now, and that's what I'm trying to push, because it's not just entrepreneurship, it's not just income, it's not just food on the table, but it's also a passion. So I also want to help other people, and I also want to, like, I'm looking to work with schools. There's a lot of schools in the location, so that's where I want to put my focus on, and actually partner and see how can we provide nutritious food at affordable prices, and what can we do to make sure that our kids and our students are fed. So that's what I want to do.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I like the fact that you actually want to take this back home,
Yes,
as I would say,
yes,
because I
definitely.
consider townships as our homes, as our primary homes. That was great. I just want you to just tell the viewers again where they could get a hold of you and how they could get a hold of you. I know many people are dying for those Thursday. Lulusu on Thursday.
Lulusu on
ne?
Thursday,
Just tell them
yes.
how and when they can get
All
you.
right, so let's start with Facebook. On Facebook, I'm available as KwaKuhle Matiwane, and then on Instagram, it's Kuhle_Matiwane. So on both platforms, you will find my WhatsApp number and you'll find my personal phone number. So just like you mentioned, I've got different days where my menu is not just set on this is what you order every day. So I've got different days. On Lusu, I keep it traditional. We've got Ulusu Thursday. On Sunday, I've got your traditional 7 colors or several colors, whatever. So yeah, I've got that, and then I've got umleqwa. I make African dishes, and then I've got food for the health fanatics as well, where during the week I've got your smoothies, which are made with immune ingredients, fruits and vegetables now, because we are living in this pandemic, and there's nothing that we can do but to adjust. So yes, so you can find me on social media, Facebook Kuhle Matiwane, and Instagram Kuhle_Matiwane.
Okay, just lastly before we go, are companies able to call you as well, maybe for their breakfast? Let's say they're organizing breakfast or whatever small gatherings that they have at this moment. Are they able to also contact you? And make
Yes,
orders?
yes, by all means, they're able to. As I said, my details are available on the posters, and then I also work, like you said, meetings, gatherings. Not so long ago, I did something actually for lawyers that had a briefing and they had a meeting. So they asked me to cater for like 30 people. They wanted strictly tea and finger foods. So I do that as well. I do offer those services to the public.
Okay, thank you so much, Kuhle. Ladies and gentlemen, that was KwaKuhle Matiwane, who is the founder and director of KwaKuhle. I hope you guys took down a few notes from there, because that was a mouthful. Let's start these businesses, guys. As one of the guests says the other day, let's become positive disruptions in the society, particularly in this particular pandemic. Thank you so much, Kuhle.
Thank you so much for
Again,
having me.
igama lam nguYonela Mashalaba, aka the iceberg that never broke. Thank you, guys.